for it. It's a study of all the senses. It's a cognitive process. You are getting the information from so many sources. It's not only visual, it's not only audio, nothing like that. Everything when complies together, then only it will lead to the formation of a memory. Definitely, visual memory is bit sharper and as compared to the if you compare to the something which is regarding the sound or something like that. So basically it is being studied or on the papers it is said that uh, somewhere inside the temporal lobe, just behind the temporal lobe, if you move, then at that place is very much active when you study regarding the memory. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So region, basically what happens that we studied regarding the corpus callosum, okay, which is the unit which is binding all the sectors of the brain. So what happens that when you move inside, just after the ears, you have the temporal lobe. After that temporal lobe, somewhere the region nearby this corpus callosum only, that is very much active when you talk about memory or when you study brain and you keep the senses uh, at that time, that region will be very much active, popping out uh, when you tell the person to memorize or to recall something. So that is how it is somewhere behind the temporal.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so that is what actually, if you go for the highest if you when you read this biology, then you will come to know it will not be the only one location that will be talking about.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to see how it's raining?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to see how it is raining right now?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Just hold on.
Apri bap, apri bap. Yes, miss. It's raining very heavily.
It's raining there. Actually, where I'm sitting to just teach you, the from window it is coming inside.
Just close the window.
Uh, y- yes, dear.
Yes, I'm telling you can close the window. Then the water will not
Yeah,
come in.
it's actually it's closed, but it is shattering on the that glass covering and all that.
Okay, ma'am.
So I think it's right now it's a warning regarding some not a good environment will be for the whole day. So let's talk about WBCs then. We have a good topic to discuss apart from rain. So if we talk about WBC, basically called leukocytes because of its color, uh, colorless, and these cells are very much happy-go-lucky cells. So basically, they don't have basic definite shape. They maintain the amoeboid nature with respect to their shape. Means they can change accordingly the according to the situation. They can have the things like development of pseudopodias and all that, and that type of nature is called dipedesis for WBC. So basically, this they do because I think WBCs are considered as a soldier, and soldiers are responsible to see the regarding the immunity and all that. So they should have that tendency that they should change according to the situation and take control over the immunity system and all that. So that's why they have this very strong feature. And they are also same as the RBC. They are also produced from red bone marrow. They are produced from it, and even the lymph nodes are responsible for their production. So these are the places where they are developing, and they have the average lifespan. If you see, they are not surviving for more than 2 to 3 weeks, not more than that. So any of them, if you talk any of them, the average if you take out for all the WBC, it will be 2 to 3 weeks. After that, they will be dying, and similarly they will be get dumped in liver and spleen and all that region. Okay, so that means dead and decay occurs in these areas only. So that's a graveyard for them, and this is how they are just have some basic characteristics. And another thing regarding these leukocyte is that uh, they have their life where that means they are born from blood, but after that their whole life is survived in tissue fluid. That means their lifespan, if you say, they will be seen basically in tissue fluids or lymphatic fluid, that is lymph. Okay. So means they don't remain for the longer duration in blood. Definitely, first they will be arriving over there after their birth, and soon they will just get squeezed out of these blood vessels, and they will be seen in these types of fluid because they cannot remain in certain territory for the protection. So they have to roam in the whole body, and they should not have limitations of arteries or veins or capillaries only. So that's why they move to each and every type of fluid which is present in our body. So that's why tissue fluid and lymphatic fluid will be having their number in much more amount, if you say. Now we have two, basically if we classify, they are of two types, that is granulocytes and agranulocytes. So granulocytes and agranulocytes because the cytoplasm is consist of some definite type of granules, and in agranulocytes it is not present. Just the way you, I think in nervous system we studied regarding the nerve cell. In that also you have Nissen's granules and all that. I don't know that labeling is there because sometimes uh, with I get confused with your book with class 12 because lot of
No,
information
ma'am, it's
is there.
there.
It is there, na, Nissen's
Yes,
granules and
ma'am.
all that. Yeah.
Nissan's granules, node of Ranvier, all those things were there in the neuron.
Yeah, that's what. So the way they have the granules, similarly these cells are also having this presence of granules, and they will give them the definite type of pH. Because of these granules they have that definite pH, and that is the reason we you can stain them with the exact dye like acids and base you can stain them easily. So granulocytes, if we write, they are according uh, to their staining ability, they are named as neutrophils, eosinophils, or it can be also named as acidophil in some of the books, and basophils. So this is how they are being classified for granulocytes. So these neutrophils means they are stained. They can be stained with the neutral dye, acidophil with acidic dye, and basophils with the basic dye. Okay, so that is how the classification can be done. Now see this. The important thing regarding WBC that they are all nucleated, not like RBC. RBC are non-nucleated, while these are nucleated things. So as we talk about the nucleus for them, so nucleus, they because under the microscope, if you observe, once your school will start, your teacher will show it to you. It is very clear under the microscope if you see the blood slide, and in that you can look at so many type of all these types of WBCs very clearly. Only thing is that you should know how to identify them. Okay, so basically, the neutrophil, if we say it is nucleus, you can say it is 3 to 4 lobed nucleus it is having. So it is just like the way the cluster of these types of things you can see inside the cell. So 3 to 4, sometimes 5 also. So this is how you can see that it is a plus. It is not the rounded nucleus the way you study in the basic diagrams. Okay. So this is how the nucleus will be seen. Then if we talk about eosinophils, it's a bilobed basically, and just like the headphones you have, your similar type of structure can be seen under the microscope. So
Yes, yes.
this is how it is being identified. Then you have basophils. Basophils is classified. It is also multinucleated, but the thing is, it is showing a definite shape. If you go for it, it will show you some like this S-shaped type of thing can be seen. So you can identify the basophil over here. Understood this?
Yes, ma'am, understood.
Okay. So it is under the microscope. What we are talking about it right now. So it's all under the microscope. So this is how you can, because when you prepare a slide of a whole blood, in that you have all types of cells. So how you will see that which type of cell is present. So at that time you have to observe them like that.
Yes, can
And
we observe the RBCs in the slide?
yeah, it's very much easy to see under microscope.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. And I think yeah, under 10x, it will not be that much clear, but under 40x, you can see the nucleus.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is how it is present. And they definitely, according to your book, the definite type of function is given for each and every type of the WBC for neutrophils, that they follow the phagocytosis. Then
Yes, ma'am.
eosinophils are
In my book.
yes, responsible for production of antitoxins and all that. Basophils are responsible for production of histamine. So if we collectively read the functions of these, so after that, I will just let the collective functions after we study the A granulocytes also. Okay. So let this is done. Then A granulocytes, if we say, so as we studied regarding the these that average life of these WBCs and all that. So if we talk about neutrophils, so neutrophils also live for sometimes only some days only. Okay, so that part, if and basically in healthy people. But if you have some infections and all that, the average life of neutrophils is just for few hours. Only for few hours it will be surviving, and the number is the highest in the blood. That means if you talk about the number, neutrophils are largest in number. So just remember that. So in few hours they will be just replenished, and uh, if the number which is given according to your book, just go through them, because different books, different numbers, little bit variation you can see in the range. So I am not telling you the exact range over here. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, because it changes with male and female also, and that is not given in your book, so I'm not taking up that part. So that's that part you have to see. And another thing regarding this, that whenever there is an infection in our body, the number, the range will definitely change. And it may be the possibility that the number can over exceed, or there may be the possibility that number decreases suddenly. So both the conditions is a sign of infection. Okay. So basically, if the number increases suddenly, then it's a sign of a very severe infection. And if they are decreasing, that means you are lacking somewhere with the nutrition and all that. So that is how it is working. So
Okay.
okay, so A granulocytes, if we say, there are of two types: lymphocytes and monocytes. So these are considered as the smallest WBC. But if you say the largest nucleus is present in it, means if I take up the lymphocyte, then the 92% of the space is occupied by nucleus. So that is why it is the smallest cell with the largest nucleus. This is how it is being studied. And number wise, if you say, the largest number is up for the neutrophils. So just for MCQs, just read the lines very carefully, beta, for competitive exams, because they
Yes,
put
ma'am.
up all these words in very confusing way, and in hurry we just sometimes we go wrong. Okay. So that is how it is working out. Then the largest WBC is the monocyte, and it is a very big one with a kidney shape. That type of nucleus is there. Okay. So it is also responsible for phagocytosis, ingesting germs and all that. So this is how they are working. And the basic, if you say, the function of all these WBCs is, first of all, is that is phagocytosis, means because they have this capability of formation of pseudopodia and all that. So what happens that whenever there is an infection or some germ, virus, bacteria, anything is there, so they will just come up there and they will just develop the pseudopodia around it and engulf it. So this is how the basic function they are doing: phagocytosis, eat the things and finish them off. So this is the basic function of phagocytosis. Then they have another thing that is called inflammation. You must have seen that sometimes when some insect is have bitten you, or something like that is happening, suddenly the area is getting red and it is get swollen. Have you seen it? Have you
Yes, ma'am.
felt it? So that is the thing is called inflammation, basically the swelling, the redness, the itchiness in that region. That all these are the symptoms of inflammation. So what happens basically in that region is that these WBCs just they just come up in these blood vessels. They will increase their size with the formation of pseudopodias and all that, and then these blood vessels will be dilated little bit. because of the continuous movement of WBC due to the infection. So dilation leads to the swelling of that region. So once the infection is subtle or it is grounded, then what happens that the WBC will be moving away from that area, and the swelling will be gone after some time. Understood how the swelling
Yes,
is formed at any infected region?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it is due to maybe the biting of the insects. It may be the possibility that sometimes those who have the throat infection, and if you see, if you open their mouth, and as the doctors see to it with the light and all that, that they have that redness in the region where the tonsils are there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that region is suffering from a severe infection, and the fight is on between WBC and the germs. And because of their fight, the region is becoming red and swollen and become itchy, or very irritability can be felt at that region. So that is what the inflammation is. Okay, then. Next is after that the basic function is production of antibodies. Okay, so the whole immunity system is programmed according to this all these types of cells. So the basic thing what they are doing basically, if because you if you talk about vaccines, if you talk about any infection, basically what happens that if you have any type of disease or something that is in cost to you, or if you are provided with vaccine, so basically the common cycle what is happening over here, the common functioning of immunity system is that whenever there is an entry of any bacteria, virus or fungus or something like that is there, okay? So if it is entering inside, then first of all, first thing, line of defense is that to identify that particular thing. So our immune system will definitely go and identify it. What is it? Is it harmful? Is it good? Is it not good? It has to be removed, has to be means finished, or something like that has to be done. So all these cells will collectively work. Definitely the one which are responsible for phagocytosis will go first of all, and they will try to eat them. Or if it is if they go and they see that they cannot eat it because of presence of certain characteristics, so other cells will give them the backup. I think I will just give you one hint. There are different types of cells like B cells, T cells are there. So they are responsible for immunity. So what they will do, they will just go, they will just hold this virus and bacteria at every sector wherever it is having this capability of causing infection. So it will be just hold it just in the way the hero is getting snatched with the powerful villains and all that, but here the heroes are these one. So that is how it will be snatched. And after that, once it is snatched, the phagocytosis will be taken place. The cell will come and will eat it. Now these cells which have holded it will be ready with the imprint of these particular organism. They will have the imprinting of it. That means just the way you are stamping the things, similarly they will get the stamp. Now what they will do, they will just produce the memory cells with them, and these memory cells will be retaining the memory of that particular infection for basically sometimes for a lifetime, sometimes for a year, sometimes for a 5 years, 10 years. This is how the duration can be. So they will retain this memory that in these within this duration, if next time that same type of infection is coming inside your body, They have the soldiers ready, and they will just go and destroy this particular organism. So this is how the whole immune system will be working. Understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Actually, it's a very big story if you include all the WBC. But no worries, not that much detail is required.
Means those B cells, T cells are WBCs only.
Not exactly the WBCs. They are the one which are produced for the major line of for creating the line of defense from
Okay,
bone
ma'am.
marrow, for from these thymus and all that. These places are producing them.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so that will be coming because the way it is written regarding the antibodies, I just that's why I use these words, because in some of the books it may be there that B cells are there, T cells are there, so you don't have to get confused. Understood
Okay,
this?
ma'am.
Okay, fine. So that is what regarding the WBC is there. Now let's see that uh, if we talk still here, is there anything you want to ask me?
No, ma'am. That's all clear.
Okay, fine. Then go for the blood platelets. So these are the things having different nature, and uh, same site of production is same. Red bone marrow is responsible for production, and they are also very minute, oval in shape, or rounded if you use the word, and non-nucleated one. So non-nucleated, they are also similarly they are present, and they are also having mother cells like mega karyocytes are there in bone marrow, which are responsible for their production. So they are these mega karyocytes. Karyo means nucleus. So the big nucleus cells are responsible for their production, and they are producing these non-nucleated platelets. So these platelets are also having these life of 3 to 5 days, and dump yard for these are also spleen and liver, that can be the dump yard for them when they are dying. So just whenever they feel sick, they feel old, they are dead and decayed, they will be just go over in this that region, and they will be dumping themselves. Okay. So what basically they have the function, they have that clotting is their basic function wherever, because whenever there is an injury wherever in your body, they are responsible for uh, just coming up over there and rescuing that tissue from that particular injury by stopping the blood flow. So that is very important thing that they are doing. Otherwise they will just simply flowing in the fluids and the blood, and they are very happy doing that function. So what happens that whenever there is a injury on the tissue, suppose if I say, if I take up the skin like this, okay, and if you get injured, the blood vessels in the skin is injured and it is ruptured somewhere, suppose like this, if the rupturing is happening. Okay, so that this area has to be repaired as soon as possible. And how these things are doing, so what they do, these platelets basically, they have some factors which are working for them, and they have some set of enzymes with them, just the way you have a toolbox to repair the things. Similarly, their toolbox is enzymes and some factors. So they will just bring all of them over there, and what they will do is they will activate one enzyme that is called thrombokinase. It can be named as thromboplastin also, or it can be named as factor 10 also, or it can be named as Stewart factor also. So many names. Or plaster. Because the way the researches are proceeding, similarly the names are changing a little bit. So what happens that with this the enzyme, whatever they are having, these platelets, they will activate one inactive factor that is called prothrombin. Okay. It will be converted into thrombin due to this particular factor. Okay, and this factor will be activated with the help of calcium and also vitamin K. Okay, these are the things which will be required for this. Now this thrombin is acting as an activating agent for another deactivated member that is called fibrinogen. It will be converted into fibrin with the help of presence of calcium. So that is how, now understand this, fibrin are responsible for the production of fibers like this. Okay. So what happens that whenever this fibrin is created, it will come at these injury, and this is how these threads will be covering this area. Just the way you put up the bandage, white bandage, similar type of structure will be formed over here, and it will
Okay.
just close that injured area. Okay, just because of this presence of fibrin. Now see this beta. This is a very raw cycle which I am discussing. It is not this much simple. Okay, it have the chain of 10 to 12 factors are there. So here only we are taking up only 4 5 thing names are there. So just I just try to simplify it out so that you can understand that how it is, how all these reactions are going on. Okay, so this is how it is done. And you must have observed whenever there is an injury on your skin. So once the blood flow is stopped, and after that you must have seen that one white layer is there, a very just like the way you have a creamy layer, something like that is formed. Have you seen it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that is just because of the formation of fibrin. And after that, once this fibrin structure is closing this particular region, one or two, three, four layers will be applied with the help of this fibrin. If one is not enough, that injury is little bit harsh, then two, three, four layers will be formed. And after that sometime you may see that it will be turning it into a very hard brown, next day if you see, it will be turned into a brown plate like structure will be there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's a basic thing you see. So that once that clot is formed, that clot is called basically the thrombus. Thrombus is nothing but the clot which is uh, just for saving that area from the blood, more blood flow and all that. So this is how it is done. uh, so this is how you can heal the injury. And now see this, um, it is said that blood is very much sensitive to oxygen. It is being means in the study it is written, because it is very much clear that if you take out the blood in a test tube, in an open tube, then after a few minutes only it will be getting clotted. The reason is exposure to the environment. Okay, so because the RBCs are very much sensitive to oxygen and all that, so that's why the clot will be formed. And for the whole blood, if we say so, that's why whenever there is a blood donation, you must have seen that rubber bags and all that are there, and they are very much vacuumed so that no outer side of air is having the contact with the blood. Have you seen it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it's because once you will study this in detail, then you will come up with this factor that why it is so much sensitive, because some of the factors over here are have the affinity towards oxygen. Understood this?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so this is about the blood platelets is there. I'm not going very fast. Is it okay?
No, yes, miss. It's okay.
Yeah. So that is what about the platelets and formation of clots and all that. So you asked me hemophilia. Okay. So the person who is hemophilic, they have the genetic orders, disorder, genetic disorder, in which these blood clotting factors are not formed properly, or they are deformed. So that is the reason they will be having this serious issues whenever there is a serious injury, if the blood flow is not being stopped. That's how they are suffering. So all these things are basically very much genetic in nature. Understand?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So I think royal families are basically they are suffering from these hemophilia from England and all that. So no worries, it's okay. If they are suffering, that's their problem. Okay. So see to this for this hemophilia. This is how I think in short paragraph it is being discussed in your book. Just go through it. I think the doubt will be clear to you. And after this, let me go for the blood transfusion. You have a school right now, Vita?
No, miss.
So I will just complete this one, blood
Okay, ma'am. No
transfusion.
problem.
Okay. So see to this that basically whatever we are studying right now, it is based on the system that is called ABO system, ABO blood group system. There are different type of grouping. If you see, there are so many things you can study with respect to the blood groups. So there are four, I think listed, I have studied till now, the 7 to 8 type of classifications are there for blood group. So but this one is universally accepted, and basically this is how it is being studied in hospitals and all that. So everybody is focusing on this. And another one is RH factor. That part we have to study. Now when we talk about this, just understand that you are concentrating on the thing that is called RBCs, blood cells. uh, all the other cells are not responsible for all these types of things. So just see to this that whenever there is a blood donation, the when you donate a blood, the whole blood is collected by the organization. Then after that, that blood has to be taken to the labs. Then the all the things from that blood is being segregated, separated, and that then it is kept in a bank. Means RBCs are separated, WBC, serum, plasma, whatever the requirement, platelets. This is how the separation is done, and then it is being saved. And whenever there is a requirement in the hospital, basically doctors in the report will just mention it, that the requirement of RBC is there, requirement of platelet is there, requirement of WBC is there. This is how they will mention in the reports. You cannot read that, that's their language. That's how they are. Just they will tell you that collect the blood and give it to the patient. This is how it is being done. So it's a very wrong type of myth is shown in our Hindi movies, that you just put one syringe in one's hand and put one bottle and put the another syringe on other's hand and you can give the blood directly. That's a very wrong, biologically, scientifically, it's a wrong thing. If you do that, both the person will die. So no matter it will start.
It's both
Understood
of them
this?
dies.
Yeah, both of them, there is the possibility that both of them can die. Okay. So,
Ma'am, the blood means it is when it is saved in the blood bank, it is separated and then saved.
Yeah, it
So
is
means if a
separated.
person requires blood, then they
Uh,
again combine them.
no, no, no. Actually, the thing is, it's not ever in the means in the patient's body. It is not like the whole blood requirement is not there. It is a very rare case if is coming up when there is a requirement of the whole blood. There is a requirement always, like some people require platelets, some requires RBCs, some requires WBCs. So that is how it is being donated in parts. The whole blood transfusion, basically it is not practically, it is very much dangerous when you are transfusion is done, the whole blood, with respect to the whole blood it
Infections
is.
can travel.
Yeah, infections, and that may lead to the severe type of disorder in the person to whom you are giving. Okay, so the patient can instead of healing, that may person develop other diseases or something like that may occur. So that is very important, that whole blood transfusion is a thing which is very severe or rare condition is occurring in hospitals. Otherwise, no whole blood transfusion is not done by the doctors.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, so that is how the banks are saving the type of blood whatever they are getting. So let's see about ABO system first of all. So basically, we know that the common type of blood groups you are having. So if I write like this, we have A, we have B, we have AB, and we have O. That is what we generally hear. Here we are not taking up anything positive, negative, nothing like that. Only A, B, and O. O, that part you have to understand. Okay. Now see this. What are the characteristics of these blood groups? So what happens that uh, our blood is having a definite type of antigen present on them. Okay? So antigen is nothing but a definite type of protein, and that defines their name. So if blood group A, then the cells will be having A type of protein. Okay, and if the blood group is B, the cells will be having B type of protein. Okay, and if blood is like this, AB, then it have both of them, A and B, both of them. And O means zero, it doesn't have any type of protein present on its surface. uh, this is not the way the structure is there. I'm just making you understand that that is how special type of protein is
Yes, ma'am.
present on the
Understood.
surface. Okay, so now see this. As we know that antigen, if is there, definitely antibodies must be there with respect to that particular thing. So that nature has decided that whenever you have the means this antigen has decided our blood group. Okay, so for the protection of this particular group, the nature has given us in our plasma, that is called antibodies. I write it in the whole. Okay. So
Miss,
what? Yes,
miss,
dear.
this thing is not clear for me that if there is an antigen, why there must be an antibody present?
It is just like lock and key bit.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Okay, it's just like lock and key. If you have a lock, you should have key. So that is the nature has designed for the you just I will give you that hint that it is for the protecting that particular antigen. Okay. So what is there, that if you have a blood group A, then you have the antibodies that they are called basically B type of antibodies will be present in your blood group. Okay, then if you have B, then you have A type of antibodies present in your blood. If you have AB, there will be
No
no
antibody.
antibody will be there. Okay, and if it is O, both of them will be present. Understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Understood.
now this is present on RBC and this is in your that plasma. These are present in under the inside the plasma. So basically, no reaction will be there because they are not complementing each other. Understood this?
Yes, miss. Understood.
Okay, they are not complementing each other. Suppose if you have a type of antibodies over here, then they will be definitely have the reaction because they will match each other and they will do the reaction. But nature has given that privilege that if you have a, the antibodies will be b. If you have b, antibodies will be a. AB will not have any type of antibodies and O will be having both of them. Okay, so now what happens that whenever you do the donation. Okay. So let's talk about the donation. So let me write out this: if you are a donor A, if you are a donor B, AB, and O. Okay. So these are the people who are the donors, and we can have the recipients over here. So now see this: recipient can be anybody. It can be A, it can be B, it can be AB, or it can be O. Anybody. Patient can be from anywhere, any type of blood group must be there for the patient. Understood this? So what happens basically
Yes, ma'am.
now? A type of RBC can be donated to the A type of RBC. Is it? Are you sure clear with this idea?
Yes, miss. Yes, miss.
Same
Otherwise, there will be a
RBCs,
reaction with the same type of antibody.
yeah. So they can donate. That's there will be no problem. But suppose if ARBC, this type of RBC, is given to the patient who is having the blood group B, can you see in his blood there will be the antibodies?
Yes, miss. The antibody will be the same with the antigen.
Yes. So that's why he cannot donate to the blood group B. Understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now see this.
Yes, ma'am.
Just I'm saying that donor, when we are donating, you are donating RBC, but the patient is having the whole blood. So now the I think the picture will be clear to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now A can donate to AB. It will be okay because no antibodies are there. You can donate to the A. Understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
But you cannot donate to the blood group if the patient is having the O blood.
Yes, miss.
Okay, just have this relation, then definitely this cannot be done, this can be done, this can be done, this cannot be done.
Yes, miss. It's okay.
Okay, so now here also this is not possible, this is not possible, yeah, same possible, while this one is also not possible. Clear beta? Is it clear?
Hello, ma'am.
Is it clear beta?
Yes, miss. Now I can hear you.
Yeah, clear this one, this line.
Yes, miss.
Okay, then O also you can give to them because no antigen is there, you can give to anybody of them.
Okay, ma'am. I can understand now.
Okay, relax and just don't get confused
Means,
because you are
means
donating
ma'am,
RBC.
who has an AB group of blood, he is blessed. He can take anybody's blood in
Yes,
need.
so these are called universal receivers. Okay, while that's why O is called universal donor.
Donors.
Understood this part?
Yes, miss. Understood.
Okay, fine. So this is how the things regarding the blood donation works.
How is the positive negative thing done? If you give a small idea, just I wanted to know.
Yeah, that's also you have one additional protein over here that is Rh. So if it is present, then you are positive. Means A positive. If it is not there, then that means Rh factor is not there. That means A negative is
Oh, okay, ma'am. That Rh factor only decides the positive and negative.
there. Yeah, if it is present, then you become positive. If it is not there, you become negative.
Okay, ma'am. Then when we say A positive, we are combining both the systems, ABO as well as Rh system.
Yes, both the systems you are combining.
Okay, ma'am. Now I understood.
Okay. So that is a different type of RH is a different protein, ABO is a different protein. Is it clear to you? So I think this much is there for today. And then, if possible, because it's a weekend, I will try to make the class in the afternoon if it will be suitable for me. Means tomorrow or some because it's a Sunday tomorrow. I
Yes,
will
ma'am.
try my.
Whenever you are free, you can just tell me. I am also free because Sunday I'm free.
Okay, so let me see if somebody means if my husband will be there to take care of my kid, then I will definitely arrange the class for you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so we
Okay.
will finish off this particular chapter. It's a bit lengthy one. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. So have a good
Okay,
day.
ma'am.
Yeah,
Ma'am.
yes, dear.
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to know a small thing, ma'am. Actually, I'm sitting for a scholarship exam, NTSC, National Talent, that
Yeah,
exam.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so ma'am, actually in the syllabus present, there is a chapter called nutrition. So
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to know, is that the nutrition which was present in class 9, which contained that vitamin deficiency and all those, or is it referring to this autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition? Which part?
It will be that means definitely mode of nutrition will be definitely the part of discussion, but you have to read each and every source vitamins. I think there must be including they must be including like calcium, each and every mineral also they must be studying.
Actually means they have given a syllabus in which nutrition is written. So which nutrition is it? Like in class 9 we had a nutrition chapter in ICSE which contained only those vitamin deficiency disease and iodine deficiency disease, all these things.
Okay, just let me see to it. I am not. I don't know what class ninth is having. First of all, so just let me. NTS is the exam, na?
NTSE, National Talent Search Examination.
Okay, NTSE. Let me find it out. I have some of my other friends who are in the same profession. They must be having this idea. Okay, I will be asking.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am. Same thing.